Hi, I'd like to talk to you about knowledge. At Blueprint, we think knowledge lies at the foundation of everything we do commercially. The more we know, the better we are at doing what we do. So we've developed a model that we call the 7Cs of knowledge. 7 things that we think you should know about. And bizarrely, they all begin with a C. They are country, big picture stuff. Company, your own company. Customer, competitor, channel, category, and consumer. So what I'd like to do here is just have a bit of fun with you. I'd like to ask you a bunch of questions and see how you would get on with these. How well do you know the 7 C's of knowledge? As I record this today, a pound sterling is $1.54 against the US currency. Is that trending up or down? And so what for your business? Today, a pound sterling is worth €1.37. How's that trending? And so what for your business? The world's biggest consumer market, America, this week said it wasn't going to put up interest rates, but it was concerned about the global environment. Stock markets across the world collapsed. So what for your business? The next day, China had another fall. The world's second biggest consumer market. So what for your business? The migrant scenario that we have in Europe at the moment, with refugees coming in from Syria and beyond, infiltrating Europe in a fairly major way, what impact does this have in your business? We have a new government in Greece. So what for your business? We have Britain looking to renegotiate terms with Europe. So what for your business? How well do you keep your finger on the big picture stuff that can have an impact? A barrel of oil today is less than $50 a barrel. So what for your business? So guys, that's the kind of stuff we mean by country. Let me now talk about company, your company. See how you do here. What is the global turnover of your company? This year? Last year? And how is it trending? What's the EBIT, earnings before interest and tax, of your company? Last year, this year, how's it trending? Is turnover growing faster than EBIT, in which case your margins are thinning? Or is EBIT growing faster than turnover, in which case your margins are enriching? How many countries of the world does your company sell product into? How many sites do you have? How many people work for you? What does marketing do? What does finance do? Talk me through the logistics of the product you make. From start to finish, how do you make one of your products? How well do you really understand the company that you work for? Now, let me think of customer. Think of a customer, a real customer that you've got in your head. Okay? Who owns them? What's the share ownership of that business? What's their turnover? Not the turnover you do with them, that's irrelevant to them. What's their turnover in their core business? And how's it trending year on year? What's their earnings before interest and tax? And how is that trending year on year? Is their earnings before interest and tax growing faster than their turnover, in which case their margins are enriching? Or is it the other way around? How many sites do they have? Are they international? What's their strategy? How many people work for them? Of all of the product that your customer sells, which product category do they make most margin in? And by the way, what margin is it? How important is your category to them? How well do you really understand your customer? And forget the bricks and mortar of your customer for a second. Think of the flesh and blood of your main decision maker, your buyer. What are the 3 things that person has to achieve this year in order to get their bonus? And when we look at competitor, you know what? It's the same. How many sites do they have? What's their knowledge of the 7 C's like compared with yourself? What would your customers say their strengths were and their weaknesses? How many sites do they have? What market share do they have and how's that trending? What's their turnover? What's their EBIT? How is that trending? And are their margins enriching or diminishing? Next, we look at channel, the channel of operation that you operate in. In the United Kingdom, we've got a great quiz program called Mastermind, and there's a mastermind chair. And you have to sit in the mastermind chair. The sound goes down, the music comes up, and you have to answer questions on your specialist subject. Let's say your specialist subject was the channel of operation you do business in. Could be retail, could be wholesale, could be e-commerce. How well do you really understand that channel? What are the key dynamics of the channel? What will the channel look like in 5 years' time? What's happening in the channel in other sophisticated markets of the world? How well do you keep up with channel developments? Next, we look at the category. The category of product that you deal with. How is it named, defined, segmented? And tell me about the trends within each of the segments. How well do you really understand the category? Not waiting for a category manager from your business to help you, but when you're facing a buyer and the buyer says something and your knowledge of the category can allow you to jump up and grasp a solution, an opportunity. How well do you really know your category and the products that comprise it? And finally, we look at the consumer. Bless the consumer. Why does the consumer do what the consumer does? Is there a north, south, east, west divide? Is there a socio-economic divide? Is there a gender difference? What are per cap consumption of the products in the north versus the Midlands? What's the ideal range for somebody in the west versus somebody in the east? How well do you understand the category? The 7 C's of knowledge, guys, it's where everything starts from. And as consultants, we work with teams all over the world. And we can tell almost instantaneously those guys that have got a great grasp of the 7 C's of knowledge. You know why? Because they're invariably good. They plan well, they influence well, and boy, they negotiate well. How good is your 7 C's of knowledge? Think about it.